What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at some more Star Wars The Black Series figures. This is sort of a follow-up to the previous video I did on the Bad Batch, the original 4. So if you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and watch that one. But today we're going to be taking a look at the Imperial version of Crosshair, Omega, and Echo. All of these were figures I was really looking forward to, so I'm pretty excited to dive into it. So let's go ahead and get started. Taking a look at the Imperial version of Crosshair, he includes his helmet, a pistol, his sniper rifle, which as I mentioned in the previous video can actually be separated and stored on his backpack. Now unfortunately, this is not entirely accurate to the show. They basically just repainted the original version of Crosshair, which is unfortunate. You can still see the Clone 99 symbol on his pauldron along with that piece that extends out from it. You may be able to take one of the Elite Squad Troopers and take some of those parts to modify Crosshair to make him more accurate. I haven't looked into doing that, but I'm sure somebody out there probably already has. So hopefully we get an updated version of Crosshair that's more accurate. With Season 2 coming up, we'll see if he continues wearing this armor or if he decides to return to the good guys and switch back to his original. Next up we have Omega. She includes a face mask, her energy bow, and Ruby. All of her accessories we did see her with in Season 1, so it's pretty cool to have this. She was one that I was real curious to see how she was going to turn out. Being a child, I wasn't sure that Hasbro was really going to be able to capture it, but I think they did a really good job. She scales appropriately, so she looks good with the team. They did give her a more realistic look to fit in with the rest of the Black Series collection. They do that with pretty much all the figures, so all the rest of the Bad Batch is like that as well. So that was pretty much expected, but overall she looks really good. As with other Black Series figures, her face does have a bit of a shine to it. I wish they would be able to fix that from the factory so that you didn't get that sweaty, plasticky look, but you can hit it with some dull coat and kind of tone it down a bit if you want. She is able to hold her energy bow. The face mask fits on. At first I almost thought it was magnetic, but I guess it's just a snug fit, but it stays on pretty good. So they did a real good job of molding that and getting it to stick to her face. Her outfit is well painted. She doesn't really have any weathering or anything like that on her boots, but there are sculpted detail throughout. So it's a nice outfit, nice paintwork. Ruby is also articulated. You can rotate her in the middle, and she has the little legs that move back and forth. You're not going to get a whole bunch of posing out of her or anything like that, but you get just enough to be able to switch it up a little bit if you want to take different pictures. And finally, we have one of my most anticipated figures from the Bad Batch, Echo. I was really curious to see how they were going to pull off sculpting his helmet because he has the piece that's already attached to his head, so I'm like, they're not going to be able to slide it over. But the engineers at Hasbro showed up and earned their money and were able to make a helmet that works pretty well. Basically what they did on the lower part of the helmet, they just cut it and then you can button it together so you can basically wrap it around his head. It fits really well, looks good, so I'm really impressed with how they did that. For accessories, Echo comes with the aforementioned helmet, a pistol, a backpack, and one thing to note with this backpack, it doesn't have the T-peg like we saw on the other Bad Batch members, but it still has a slot so that it doesn't spin around or anything on you. So not really a downside to it or anything, but just something to make note of. He also comes with an arm attachment that just simply slides over his right arm. One thing that's pretty irritating is that although he comes with a pistol, his left hand, which is the only hand he's able to hold the pistol in, doesn't have a trigger finger. I don't know what Hasbro was thinking with this, but I just took a razor blade and went ahead and made a split so that I could get him holding the pistol properly, but I'm not really sure why they dropped the ball in this area. His skin is appropriately more pale than the other members of the Bad Batch. If you watch the Clone Wars episode, The Bad Batch, then they go into detail of showing how he actually became a member. And prior episodes of the Clone Wars show exactly what happened to him that caused him to have this kind of cyborg appearance. He maintains the kama that he wore while he was an ARC trooper, so he does have a slightly different appearance than the other members of the Bad Batch. And that's one thing I like. All of them have their own kind of unique look to separate them. All in all, I'm really happy with these three figures. Even though Crosshair isn't exact, I still am happy to have at least a different version of them that I can put in the display until they fix it, or I just go ahead and make my own customized version. Let me know what you guys think of these figures in the comment section. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button, it really does help the channel grow, and I'll see you guys on the next video.